Hello everyone. Welcome back to some more Majora's Mask 3D. What's that? Something in the middle of that blizzard. Can't you see it? Once again, this series was requested by my patron Braden. He wanted me to play Majora's Mask. And when I mentioned how much I hated the 3D version, he said, "Oh, good. Do that one then." So I get the pain of playing the 3D version. But hey, that's what he requested, and let's be honest, I'm happy to play either version. I would prefer the N64 version, but both versions are good. You know, it's still a good game, you know, so the N64 version is just better. But this version existing doesn't like ruin the game. I don't understand like people that say like, "Oh, it ruined the game." It's like, but the other the old version still exists. It can't ruin the old version of the game because it's not. Like, you can always go back and play Majora's Mask on N64, you know? Or on emulator, or on any of Nintendo's official things, you know? So, remember, emulation is perfectly legal if you own the original ROM, or the original cartridge, and dump the ROM yourself. So I own both versions. So if I wanted to, you know, dump the ROM off of my official cartridge and play it on an emulator so that I could play it better, since my N64 barely functions, it is perfectly legal for me to do so. You just can't go out online and find a ROM, you know? That's illegal. This is kind of big. It's going to take more than average strength to move this thing. Yeah, I'm just dealing with these stupid white things that are a pain first. But yes, it's just something that a lot of people like are always talking about. It's like, oh, you can't play emulator games. It's illegal. Actually, it's not illegal to own an emulator or play the game on an emulator. It's illegal to go out and obtain the game in any way other than a legal method, which is, you know, owning the actual game. But to then turn around and rip that and put it onto your PC and then play it on a, you know, third-party program is not illegal. So it's a small distinction, but it's an important one. You know, I can't go out and find a ROM of Minish Cap, but I can take my Game Boy Advance, you know, use a cable that lets me dump the game onto my computer and then play it. That is, in fact, perfectly legal. I'm sure companies would prefer it not be legal, but it is perfectly legal. So Like, jump. Now, is this fairy still here? I wonder. Yes. I know they've changed a few things. There were definitely some fairies in weird locations last dungeon. So it might be a good idea to keep tabs on which fairies are in which areas. I can't get to that chest yet. But there is a fairy over there, I see. Well, let's grab that real quick. Alright, so that's all the fairies that are in this room. At least I can see that much. I believe that fairy used to require killing all of these guys to get. Looks like they just put it in a bubble, which is fine. It's one less thing you have to do, so. So if you don't have the bunny hood yet, I highly recommend getting it for this dungeon. Because there are a lot of difficult puzzles and jumps to make if you don't have it. Plus, it's just easier and faster. So, and you're going to be spending a lot of time in every dungeon, honestly. But this one especially. You're going to, be spending a lot of time switching between mask and unmask. So, yawns. Is pushing these blocks slower than in the original? I feel like it is. That felt really slow. Like, almost painfully slow. You got a smoky. Alright. So, there's a fairy up there in that chest, but we can't currently get up there. But by putting the blocks where I did, it will lock those blocks in place, and we'll be able to use the blocks to jump over pretty easily later. So, I think I need to go down here, but I don't remember. Don't remember if I need to go down here or if I don't actually need to. Lots of magic. Hopefully those will regenerate. Lots and lots of magic. Alright. I do need to step in the switch. That switch you can only step on as a Goron because it's too big. But that gives you a fairy. Whee! There's still another fairy in here somewhere, but I can't get to it right now, so I think I know where, because it's usually the last fairy that I pick up, so I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Assuming they just haven't changed it. So, alright. This way. Up we go. Boom. That's more just an obstacle than it is like a puzzle. But it is there. And it will explode in your face. There's our dungeon map. Go ahead and kill the Blizzagia. Alright. Is this where you need the lens of truth? Or is this something else? No, the lens comes later. I think I need... Yeah, it comes later. I think I need fire. I think I actually legitimately need fire. Okay. I think I know where I'm confused at. So I need to go down here. Probably would have been a good idea to go on first. Oh well. And then we can head back up these stairs. And I remember there is a door to the other side of this room that requires a key. I think. Yes. Oh, hush. You stupid Wolfus. Don't even care. Alright, then there's another Wolfos behind that piece of ice. This is the compass. Told you. Smack-a-diddly. Super easy peasy. I like that you can't punch this, like, at all. Like, I think that it's an odd idea that you can't just, like, punch this. You have to blow it up. Is the... Okay, that's still up there. That's gonna require me to get a bomb up there. Which is easier said than done, honestly. Because that up there is a fairy. I wish they had bomb arrows. Freaking bomb arrows from Link's Awakening were fantastic. I'm attacking the ice too rapidly is the problem. Gotta wait till it stops shaking completely. There we go. Just like that. That was not the right jump. Wait, there's no... Ah! was gonna say, shouldn't there be one above this one too? Yeah, there it is. Now I can get across. Ta-da! Alright. Chest opens from the other side. Which is really annoying. Why did you do that, Link? And bomb. Nice. Alright. You can also punch that with the Goron mask. But that's just the easier way of doing it. Honestly. Got it. Okay. Grab that red rupee just so that we have the rupees. I know we're basically full on rupees at this point, but still. Go up, pound. So, this puzzle is really hard. I mean, it's impossible. If you don't realize that you can do that. So, but luckily, you know, luckily we know that we can do that. So, this puzzle took me forever to figure out the first time. Just because I didn't realize that you could do the Goron pound. Also, you have to be fast. This is one of the puzzles that having the bunny hood really benefits from. You see, I barely made that. Granted, I had some issues. So it wasn't like I made that perfect or anything, but having the bunny hood there really helps. Right. I always do this because I always forget that in order to cross here, you actually have to be in roller mode. So, I always end up doing that. I'm like, oh yeah, just, run across. And then it's like, nope. Literally have to be in roller mode for that. That jump can be really hard to make. I'm surprised I made it in the first try there. And then this guy, who is actually surprisingly easy. I always had trouble with this guy until I realized that if you just stand on one of the pads, he won't teleport there. And you can just sit here and pelt arrows at him. At least you won't until you get to phase 2 anyway. Which is what this is. Now he has a chance of actually appearing next to me. It's pretty rare. that he does that. But he can actually appear there. Easy mode. So that is this game's equivalent of a Wizrobe. In fact, they're even called Wizrobes. Fire arrow! Direct hit will put the heat on your target. Aim wisely to set objects aflame and melt ice. Nice. So now that we have fire arrows, we can do a lot of these puzzles a whole heck of a lot easier. But also, when we come back, if we come back to the dungeon or something, we can actually skip some of it now. For the same reason, because we have the fire arrows, which create little shortcuts that you can use. At least in the first half of the dungeon, it creates shortcuts anyway. That was really risky. Whee! Alright. So now that we've done that, you might have noticed this block of ice here, which we can now melt with our fire arrows. Ta-da! Alright, now we're up here. Coolies. Alright. We have no keys. So, being up here does us no good at the moment. We can't make this. We can't jump that because there's no, ramp to go over. So let's head back this way. And now with our fire arrows, we can melt this giant block of ice. So you can already see, like, there's a shortcut right there. Now I no longer have to solve this puzzle. Also, I realized there's a stray fairy up there. And I always forget it. Apparently that one really wanted to just sit there and circle around for a bit, instead of coming straight to me. Don't know why. It just did. But now, first off, I can set these freaking Wolfos on fire now, which is great. But second off, I can melt the ice they're hiding behind. Gotcha. Alright. So now we can try for that fairy. That's over there. And also, there's a chest up there. I think that's another fairy, actually. This room has a number of fairies in it. Now, this is the hard part. This is the part that's always given me trouble. Because I'm not very good at timing bomb throws. I say as I do it first try. I swear I'm not usually able to do that. Oh, okay. That was not what I meant to do, but okay. I guess it kinda was. But it also really wasn't at all what I was trying to do. I'm just trying to push this block over here. Like, I think I do have to go that exact way once I have this fairy. I just didn't mean to go there didn't mean to get up there at that moment. Also, it's nice that they made this a little bit faster. You're pushing the block, so. Alright, so this is only important if you're going for the fairies. There's another one. 10 fairies. Okay, I'm not missing anything in that room at least. So I definitely am in this room. Whoops. Not masks. Items. Not masks. Now we can get through these ice blocks that are blocking the way. Ouch. Smack my face. Also, you can deal with these blizzagas a lot easier. Or whatever they're called. Blizzaga's a spell in Final Fantasy. Not in 14, though, oddly enough. Just like other Final Fantasy games. Instead of using the standard Blizzard, Blizzaga, Blizzara, yada yada, FF14 just uses like Blizzard 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which I find to be odd, just because like that's a staple of Final Fantasy. But also, I think they did at one point. I think that's a change that's been made. Because some of the enemies actually do use, like, Blizzara and Blizzaga and stuff. Instead of using, like, Blizzard 2 or Blizzard 3 and such. But they're, like, the first, they're enemies from, like, the first expansion or, prior. So. God, nothing else in here. Didn't think so, but wanted to be sure. Frick. That's fine. I think it's fine. Might have to get up there a different way, because there's a different way of getting up. Yeah. Now that I've raised the platform, I can't cross here. So, but I can get back up the same way that I got. Or I can re-enter from there the same way, just by going into here instead. I just gotta use the Deku mask, but I just wanted to not have to go through this trouble if I could avoid it, but it would be more annoying to like lower the platform and then go through, back up. So I'm just gonna do this way. Yeah, you can see they really want you to use the fire arrows in this dungeon. Like, everything is fire arrows in this dungeon, practically. Over to the red door, so that we can go this way. Not this way, other way. Alright, so there's a fairy in that chest there. Which we can get to easily enough. There's a couple of well-placed fire arrows. No, that's a key. That's not a fairy. Never mind. Small key. Okay. Now what? Now I have to remember what's next. I have to go back up this way is what's next. Up we go. There's a lot of weird, like, ups and downs in this dungeon, honestly. So... Oh, I'm hoping I didn't raise this too early, now that I'm thinking about it. I think I might have... Well, we'll find out. Maybe not. Because I can still get across here, so... There is where I need the key. There we go. Alright. Now we just need the boss key. And we'll be done. Well, sort of. Because obviously there's still the remaining fairies. You could probably kill these things faster with the fire arrows, but whatever. That masks items. Because I was going to say, there should be a fairy hidden. Like so. And this should be, yes, it is. It's number 12. And then I know where the next two are. They are actually right through here, if I recall. Because I think there's two Dinalfoss up here, and both of them have a fairy. $13 and $14. Right. I needed that all the way up here to cross that. Well, frick. I should have rolled. Because if you're rolling, you actually don't take the fall damage there. At least in the original N64 version. Oh. Alright, well we got this now. We can get back up there and get everything pretty quick. So shouldn't take us too much work to do this. Up we go. Up we go. And then we just gotta jump into the middle, which I failed to do. That jump is easier with the bunny hood, admittedly. In fact, I think I usually just use the bunny hood for all of these jumps. But the 3DS's physics are a little bit different than I'm used to. That is not the right mask, Link. Boom. There we go. And I think I always do that. I think every time I've played this, I've done that. Where I've raised the platform and hit out all the pieces, and then I get to the top and I go, ow, right. I needed to not do that. And we hop up here. And then we shoot the eyeball. Hey! We're back to where we were. More or less, anyway. No, we are actually back to where we were. Here's the Dinalfoss room. Don't need to fight you. I've already dealt with that problem. So now the hard part is actually getting to the last fairy. Can't do it yet anyway, but the hard part is getting to the last fairy. Also, the fire arrows do extra damage. Hi there. You'll notice it took me 3 arrows last time, but only 2 this time to get him this phase change. Hi there. If you do the light arrows, which you get later, it's even faster, I think. If I recall correctly. I think the light arrows make it so you can basically like two-shot that guy. Boss key! Alright, so now what we can do is we can head back down to the bottom. I'm just wondering if there's just an easier way to get down. This'll work fine. Yep, that worked. Alright, now we can punch these out. And I know you're probably wondering, what about the last fairy? Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I have not forgotten the last fairy. In order to get it, we actually have to do this. It's actually the most annoying fairy to get. At least for me. I don't know if maybe I'm just doing this in a weird way. But this is the only way I've ever managed to be able to do this. And we come over here. Like, I feel like this is the only reason that this Deku flower is here, is to get this one fairy. But the problem is, it's literally waiting as you go down. And down. And down. Slowly. Very slowly. There's nothing that you can do to make this go faster. At all. And the worst part is I don't remember which quadrant the fairy is in. So, I'm gonna have to hope I'm in the right area. Otherwise I have to do this again. So, yeah. This sucks. And I can't even, like, really look around at all. because looking around requires me to move, which uses up time on your flowers. In fact, I'm actually going to drop right here for a moment. Because I'm going to look for where this fairy is real quick. It is right there. I was in the right quadrant. It is literally right there. I can try this, but this has never worked. I have never gotten that to work. The only method I know of to get that fairy is to slowly Deku Flower down. So I guess I will work my way back there. And when I get there and actually get to the fairy, we will return. So I will see you all in just a moment. And there we go. It's such a pain. It is such a pain to get that freaking last fairy. And I'm sure somebody's gonna comment like, hey Serene, you could just like roll off the top of the platform or something. You know, to get there. And I tried that like 6 times. To just like roll off the top of the pillar there. I tried that like 6 times and I could not. I just could not. It just did not work. So if it is possible, great, but I do not know how to do it at all. I just don't. So we have all the fairies now, which means we can go fight the boss. And then, more than likely, completely forget that I need to stop and drop off the fairies. Like, it happens quite regularly for me in this dungeon. So, just hoping I don't forget. But if I do, don't be surprised. Alright, time for what used to be my favorite boss in the game. Why used to be? Well, you'll see in a minute. In the original version of this was the entire fight. Rolling around, trying to hit him with the spikes. And there was pretty much nothing else to it, you know? Like, you just had to roll around, hit him with the spikes a few times. He dies. Now It completely interrupts the flow of the battle for him to collapse, for the eye to pop out. Like, originally when he collapsed, that was the opportunity to attack him the most. You know? You would just roll into him with the spikes while he was collapsed. And it was just the best. See, I can't even hit him. There we go. Like, I wouldn't need to do that at all in the original. I could literally just run into him from the back. Like, I could literally just do this. See, I can't even damage him in this state. This would be dealing so much damage right now in the original. Are you not going to get back up until I hit the eye? There we go. Okay. That was a pain. I could have... So for that, I could have stopped. I could have pulled out... I could have taken off the mask, pulled out my bow, and shot at him. Originally, making a jump and hitting him right in the back like that was the best thing that you could do, because it knocked him over, and you just immediately went in and started just slamming into his back. You know? I used to joke about the fact that you were just, ramming him in the butt. Ram him in the butt with the spikes. You legitimately cannot do that in this version. You have to hit the eye. And it ruins the pace of this battle completely. This battle used to be so fun. You just ran around, dodged his attacks, slammed into him a few times, and you won. But, like, now, I have to pull off the mask, shoot him with the bow. Oh, now he's getting back up, so now I have to stop, put the mask back on. Like, why? This is the one boss that I really have issue with them changing. Just because the original encounter of this boss was more or less, like, perfect. It didn't need any changes. It worked really well. It was really fun. But now it doesn't work at all. Oh my god. See, like, I'm constantly knocking him down, and I have to stop, and I have to pull out the arrows, and it's annoying. It's really annoying. Instead, in the original, I could have just continued to hit him in the exact manner I had been hitting him only moments ago. And the worst part is, I have to do that boss a second time. You see Scott's remains, or, excuse me, Goat's remains. I always used to say Got, but I recently learned that I think it's supposed to be Goat. In doing so, you freed the innocent spirit that was imprisoned within this dark mask. Woo! But yeah, I used to say got. then I realized that OH makes an O sound. And then I went, oh, his name is Goat. Because he's a goat. What exactly are all of you? Guardians. Guardians? So, you're protective gods? That's why you're in the temples, but why are the protective gods? No, wait! Are you listening to me? Hey! Wait! Fool. Yay! Boy, he melted quick. I mean, it would certainly make sense for the Scorians, which are the Goron-inspired race of my world, because their bodies are literally made of magma. Or I should say their blood is made of magma, or whatever. Whatever the, you know, whatever lava is when it's still... Is it lava? When it's, like, still underground? And it hasn't erupted yet? I think it might just straight up be lava. So this is also why I tend to forget to return the fairies, because it brings me here, so I'm away from, you know, Snowhead, and so I'm like, hey, wait. Although there actually is some stuff that's probably best to be done now, instead of going back in time and then doing it. So I might handle that while we still have time. Because I need to pick up the powder keg before we continue on to do the next thing. And I guess the easiest way to do that would just be to handle that now before we go back in time. That was very close. Did I just take the long way around? I did. I see that. If I had gone the other way, it was literally the next side of the temple over. So, oh well. Oh no, the scary fairy. Are you the spin attack? Oh, strong young one, I am the great fairy of power. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. As thanks, I shall grant you prowess for this new sword technique. Yeah. The second lamest fairy. Oh wait, you don't even have a sword. What am I doing exactly? Giving you a sword technique? I have a sword, it's just underneath the mask. I promise. You mastered the spin attack. Whoa. You have the more powerful spin attack now. Big whoop. Come see me again whenever you are overcome by weariness. Whoa. Well, before I could only go to blue, now I can go to pink. Oh, no, it's gold in this one. In the original, it was pink. When you held the sword and powered it up all the way, it was pink. Pretty sure, anyway. Don't remember it being gold. Alright. So next thing to do is for us to... Whee! Slide on down. Is to head on off to the Goron village. Because we need to pick up a powder keg and learn to use it so that we can have it as a permanent item. And we will do that next time. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. And with that, oh yeah, this was requested by my patron, Braden. If you want to request something for me to play, you can go to my Patreon, or Patreon. It is linked in the video description down below as well. And with that, I will see you all next time. See you later.